Pioneering hydrogen-powered flight, breaking new ground in aviation. Rolls-Royce and EasyJet have made aviation history by conducting the world's first test run of a modern aero engine powered by hydrogen. This groundbreaking event took place at the Maud Boscombe Down Outdoor Test Facility in the UK, utilizing a converted Rolls-Royce AE 2100, a regional aircraft engine. The significance of this test extends beyond the technical achievement. It underscores a major leap towards utilizing hydrogen as a viable zero-carbon aviation fuel. Sourcing green hydrogen. The hydrogen used in this pivotal test was sourced from the European Marine Energy Centre, EMEC, located on Ede in the Orkney Islands. Notably, this green hydrogen was produced entirely through renewable energy harnessed from wind and tidal forces, emphasizing the sustainability of the fuel source. This detail highlights the commitment of both companies to not only innovate within their industries, but also to ensure that their advancements promote environmental sustainability. Collaborative efforts toward decarbonization. Strategic partnerships for innovation. The collaboration between Rolls-Royce and EasyJet represents a significant step in both companies' decarbonization strategies. Their joint efforts aim to demonstrate that hydrogen can safely and efficiently power civil aero engines, a proposition that could radically transform the aviation sector. The partnership's rapid progress, from announcement to execution within months, reflects a shared commitment to fast-tracking sustainable aviation solutions. Government and industry alignment. The UK's Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, Grant Shapps, lauded this initiative as a demonstration of British leadership in the shift towards guilt-free flying. The project is celebrated not only as a technological triumph, but also as a catalyst for job creation across the country, showcasing how governmental and business objectives can align in the pursuit of cleaner aviation. Future tests and long-term goals. Expanding the testing program. Following the success of the initial ground test, Rolls-Royce and EasyJet have outlined plans for a series of further rig tests, culminating in a full-scale ground test of a Rolls-Royce Pearl 15 jet engine. This phased testing approach is designed to meticulously validate the efficacy and safety of hydrogen fuel in various engine configurations and operating conditions. Vision for zero-carbon flight. Both companies are driven by the global, UN-backed Race to Zero campaign, to which they are signatories, committing to achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2050. The ambition extends beyond mere participation in a campaign. It involves a tangible, rigorous pursuit of innovations that could enable truly sustainable flight, significantly reducing the aviation industry's impact on the environment. Wind and solar overtake fossil fuels in the EU. A landmark shift in energy generation. The first half of 2024 marked a pivotal moment for the European Union's power sector, as wind and solar energy generation surpassed that of fossil fuels. This achievement not only represents a significant environmental milestone, but also signals a fundamental shift in the EU's energy landscape. For the first time, renewable sources like wind and solar contributed to 30%, 386 TWh, of the EU's electricity, overtaking fossil fuels, which accounted for 27%, 343 TWh. This shift is indicative of the growing influence and reliability of renewable energy sources within the EU's power grid. Member state achievements. The transition to renewable dominance is widespread across the EU, with 4 member states, Germany, Belgium, Hungary, and the Netherlands, reaching this milestone for the first time. This broad participation underscores the collective effort and commitment across the region to move towards a more sustainable and environmentally friendly energy production model. The drivers of change, policy and market forces. Policies fueling renewable expansion. The surge in wind and solar capacities across the EU can be largely attributed to proactive governmental policies and the recent crisis in gas prices, which accelerated the shift away from fossil fuels. These policies, designed to enhance the deployment of renewable energy sources, have laid a robust foundation for continued growth and transition. As a result, record capacities of wind and solar power were added in 2023, with these additions making a significant impact on the energy generation landscape in 2024. Economic and technological catalysts. High energy prices and supportive policies have driven rapid growth in wind and solar installations. Innovations such as Germany's reforms to reduce bureaucracy in rooftop solar installations and the Netherlands' new offshore wind farm have contributed to these record additions. Moreover, the falling costs of solar panels have sustained deployment momentum, even as energy prices begin to stabilize. Future projections and challenges. Sustaining the momentum. While the initial successes of wind and solar energy in the EU are promising, the continuation of this trend is not guaranteed without further intervention. The transformation witnessed in the first half of 2024 has set a high benchmark for renewable energy production. However, to maintain and exceed this performance, dedicated policy action and effective implementation are crucial. This will involve addressing non-market barriers such as grid capacity constraints and ensuring the alignment of EU energy goals with national ambitions. Long-term projections and policy needs. Looking ahead, the European Union has ambitious targets for renewable energy capacity under the REPowerEU plan, aiming for 750 GW of solar capacity by 2030. However, current projections suggest that without significant policy enhancements and continued investment in renewables, these targets might not be met. The expected growth in solar capacity and the projected ramp-up of wind capacity from 2025 onwards highlight the need for ongoing support and strategic planning to overcome potential shortfalls in meeting these ambitious goals. Policy and market synergy required. As the EU moves towards a more sustainable future, the synergy between market dynamics and policy initiatives will be pivotal. With Ursula von der Leyen's reappointment as President of the European Commission, there is renewed commitment at the highest levels of EU governance to meet the Green Deal's targets. This leadership is essential for catalyzing further reductions in fossil fuel reliance and advancing the EU's climate objectives through thoughtful and rapid policy interventions. Real wage growth outpaces inflation. An optimistic economic update. Recent data from the Center for American Progress suggests a turning point in the American economy. Wages for the typical American worker are not only recovering post-pandemic, but are actually growing at rates comparable to those before the global health crisis. This recovery has been robust, with wage growth in 2022 to 2023 marking the second fastest post-recession recovery since 1980. Such progress offers a glimmer of hope amid widespread concerns about the cost of living. Inflation-adjusted wage increases. The analysis by CAPE highlights a significant trend. 57% of workers are now earning more, adjusted for inflation, than they did a year ago, and 41% have seen real wage increases exceeding 5%. This improvement in wages is critical as it suggests that despite ongoing economic challenges, many American workers are experiencing tangible gains in their purchasing power. Legislative boosts to minimum wage. State-led wage increases. In a move affecting nearly 10 million Americans, 22 states increased their minimum wage at the start of the year. This change directly benefits those on minimum wage, but also positively impacts workers earning slightly above this threshold, as employers adjust pay scales to maintain a competitive wage structure. States like New York, California, and South Dakota are at the forefront of this initiative, which is part of a broader effort to ensure wages keep pace with living costs. Future increases planned. Further enhancing this landscape, Axios reports that 3 additional states, along with Washington, D.C., are scheduled to raise their minimum wages later in 2024. These planned increases are part of ongoing legislative efforts to support low-income workers and stimulate economic equity. Job market expansion and green job opportunities. Robust job creation. Despite some ongoing economic uncertainties, the U.S. job market is showing signs of vigorous growth. According to the Associated Press, December 2023 saw the addition of 216,000 jobs, an increase from 173,000 in November. This growth indicates a resilient employment sector poised to continue its recovery trajectory. Surge in green jobs. Amidst this general job growth, a notable rise in green job opportunities has been reported by E2, environmental entrepreneurs. Driven by initiatives like the Inflation Reduction Act, the expansion in clean energy projects is expected to significantly boost employment. E2's projections include 303,500 jobs annually over a typical 5-year construction phase for projects such as electric vehicle and battery factories, as well as wind and solar manufacturing facilities. Following construction, these projects are anticipated to create an additional 99,600 jobs each year. Economic implications of green investments. The investment in green technology and infrastructure is described by E2's executive director, Bob Keefe, as part of the biggest economic revolution in generations. The impact of these investments extends beyond traditional sectors such as solar and wind, influencing local construction, restaurants, real estate, and many other areas of the economy. This comprehensive growth underscores the far-reaching benefits of sustainable economic policies